Hi everybody. I would just like to make a little video about forgiveness and about taking abuse from other people. What I'd like to say is that it's not good for anybody to take abuse from other people. It's not even good to allow other people to mistreat us, but it even goes further than that. If we allow other people to abuse us, not only are we hurting ourselves, obviously, but they are hurting themselves. So it's a loving thing not to take abuse from other people for ourselves. It's loving for us, and it's also loving for them. If you have any awareness, which I'm sure you do if you're watching this now, you have some choice available to you to stay in a relationship because you feel sorry for the person who's the abuser, or some sort of feeling this way towards them, or you're in a habit of abuse, or you're in the habit of living with them. You're comfortable in your what's normal for you. It's not good for the other person to allow them to be abusing. It's not good for them to be stuck in unconscious behavior of hurting other people. And when you allow them to hurt you, if it's minor abuse or even if it's worse than little minor abuse, you're contributing to continuing them to stay in this behavior, and they will stay in this type of awareness and consciousness with other people in their lives too, in some way or another. So if it's kind of like small verbal abuse or even worse abuse, they will be continuing this in their relationships too, their other relationships. Primarily, you do not want yourself to be physically hurt or verbally put down, abused, made feel worthless, to have your self-esteem put down, ridiculed. We want to be loving to ourselves, and to get away from people who are harmful or hurtful to us is one way to start to be loving to ourselves. Depending on how much we may have our self-esteem and our power to talk up and speak, we may or may not be able to talk to the person who is abusive, depending on how much they are abusive, or if they even realize that they are being abusive. Some people are just a little bit abusive. Other people are psychologically very unwell or unstable, and they could be even dangerous. For the people who aren't like this, but that they're more like an average person who is just stuck in certain unconscious behavior, and they're hurting themselves, they themselves are obviously hurting and unhappy, and maybe stressed or lost in life, and that's why they're able to even hurt or try and hurt other people. Maybe they're not even trying, but maybe that's what's happening because they're busy being very negative or complaining or critical towards somebody, for example. If we have any awareness, any power, we want to speak up and tell them to stop. Tell them to stop every single time that they try and get one over us or put us down or be meanly sarcastic. Anytime they try and tell us what to do or control us, even in an obvious way or even in a subtle way, emotional sort of blackmail, emotional manipulation. Anytime that they try and control us and keep us doing something that they know or we know we don't like, we need to speak up over and over again to break their habit, to tell them clearly and authoritatively over and over again that this isn't acceptable or allowed anymore, and if they don't stop, you're out of there. And this is loving to yourself, okay, obviously, but it's loving to them. It's bad for somebody to keep them in the hole of being an abuser, being a mistreater, being a dominator, a controller. We need to teach these people to stop and tell them it's not okay to do this to us or to do this to anybody. We want more love and light and peace and awareness and understanding in the world. In people's hearts, one by one. We need to be a powerful speaker upper. And we need to get people to understand this and let them know that we mean it. So we don't need to think we're supposed to be peaceful and quiet and nice. If peaceful, quiet and nice doesn't work, we can still have peace on the inside, but we can speak up clearly and authoritatively and powerfully and tell them it's not okay anymore. And be loud. And if we feel such tension, let it out. But just be careful. Maybe we don't want to let it out on someone who's particularly abusive. We don't want to stir a psychologically unstable person into a rage, and we don't want to endanger ourselves with somebody who's a bit psychotic or insane. But this even applies to people in our family or our friends. We want to teach them consistently how to treat us and what's okay and what's not okay and what we don't want them to do anymore and what we do want them to do from now on, how to treat us, and we want them to nurture us. We want to tell them clearly, specifically, exactly how, so they can nurture us and love us and protect, build us up, bring joy to our lives, bring happiness to our lives. We don't want to be with anybody who's going to do the opposite and bring us down. And this is a loving act. Don't forget, this isn't selfish. This isn't just a loving act to us. It's actually a loving act to them as well. So then they may change. We're giving them the opportunity and the space to change and to change themselves and to start to grow up spiritually, to expand. There's a quotation: forgiveness isn't for other people, it's for ourselves. Well, that's only part of the truth. It is for other people, of course. Other people benefit when we forgive them. Not only the person who we're forgiving, but everybody in the world, because we're all connected, but everyone in our society, in our family, everyone who we come in contact benefits when we free ourselves of the load, the heaviness of unforgiveness. So when we free ourselves, everybody benefits. Us primarily, but obviously everybody. Obviously the person we forgive. Just remember, anyone who can do a mean thing, they're living in ego land, they're living in pain land. They don't need more hurt, but they need to be taught to stop, and they don't need more hurt, they need to be rehabilitated. They're unwell, psychologically and emotionally unwell, unstable, disharmonious. That doesn't mean we need to be their friend if they're like this. We can be their friend at heart, but we don't need to be their friend and being with them all the time or any time. Even if it's family, we want people who are loving and nurturing to us. And it's not a favour to be with our mother or father or our son if they are hurtful, mean, unkind, aggressive, manipulating, or anything like that in the slightest way. Even the slightest thing, but especially the more serious things, we need to tell them over and over again, clearly and authoritatively, this isn't right, this isn't okay, and I'm not going to put up with this anymore, but I love you and I forgive you. If we have the ability to say that, if we feel like we can, but just teach them, like I said before, that it's not okay. And let's look at ourselves and see if we're doing any of these things to anybody in our lives. And let's stop if we are doing this ourselves. When we forgive, there's a quotation, anger doesn't hurt. Hate doesn't hurt the hated, it hurts the hater. Of course, obviously, hate can hurt the person being hated. Or same way, anger. If you express hatred or anger towards somebody, obviously you can end up hurting them physically or verbally. But that's sometimes when you're there with them and you lash out. But anytime you keep that anger or unforgiveness inside of you, you're hurting all the time. Even if you're not aware of it, it's subconsciously hurting you. It's there energetically. Not only is it hurting you, and it's hurting the person who you don't forgive or hate, some of the time when you express it at them, but you're hurting everybody you ever meet in your environment, because that energy, that heavy energy is there. It's there with you, and it's coming across in you. It's in your unconsciousness. You'll act unconsciously. Your pain will be triggered. You'll be tense. You'll be stressed. You'll end up blowing up and overreacting, because the pain that's there arises like a simmering volcano and explodes, and you end up getting into an argument. The pain body or the pain takes over your mind, and it becomes all dark and clouded, and you fight and lash out with people in unconscious reactions and reflexes born from pain and fear. So when we stop and see what's here now within us, or outside the present moment, or when we see what's inside of us especially, we get to stop and see our pain and hurt as it comes up right now in this moment. And when we stop a little bit or slow down and see what's here inside of us, and then we feel it and embrace it and accept it, then or express it, then we get to free ourselves from this pain, and we become from heavy and unhappy to light and light-hearted, light and free and joyful and able to enjoy life more. So when we forgive other people, and when we teach people to stop mistreating us, and when we leave unhappy relationships, when we free our emotional load by looking at our own spirituality first, that's when we get to enjoy life more. It's a gift to us, but it's a gift to everybody. It's a gift to everybody in the world, in your society, in your family, your friends, colleagues, people you meet on the street, and the person who you previously didn't forgive as well before. It's a gift to you. You become happier, you become more joyful, you become lighter, you're able to enjoy life more, you're able to contribute to life more, you're able to follow your passions and your purpose, you're able to smile and laugh and have fun, have happier, better relationships with people. You're able to be light, happy, not stressed. So that's all the benefits of forgiving and taking care of your own spirituality. So thanks for watching. I hope this helps. Please feel free to subscribe for future videos and to share this with other people so they can be benefited. Think about this yourself. Don't just take what I say or anybody ever says. Think about it. Simmer, reflect, see what makes sense to you, and follow your own truth and your own heart, and speak your truth and live your heart. So thanks for watching, and much love to you this Christmas time 2011, and always, now, always. So I'll see you again, and look forward to seeing you next time, and tell me what you think if you want. Bye. P.S. There, one last thing. If someone is being rather abusive to you or even mistreating you in any way, don't tell nobody. Tell people. Tell your friends or your family, or tell other people, professionals. Don't keep it all to yourself. Any abuser is insecure and fearful, typically. So they like to keep their victim alone and suppressed and disempowered and all alone. So do look for help, get support, and remove yourself from people who are particularly abusive. Share for your own sake of practical getting help and to be protected from the situation, but also share for your own emotional healing, your own psychological healing. This is really important, and I forgot to say it in the previous part. So thanks again for watching, and I wish you much love and hugs and peace. Okay, I wish you all the best in life. I wish you to learn from this experience, and I wish you relief soon and empowerment, and just keep learning and empowering yourself, okay? And get nurturing and soothing, empowered, helpful friends and support, okay? Alright, well, all the best. Much love and happy Christmas. See ya.